Anybody in the room?
Mm, mm, mm. Hmm.
Sound like a different man, Alex. How do I know it's really you?
Sounds like he's from Brooklyn.
Mike is.
Yeah, Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Start.
Yeah.
Like to call this meeting of the Pima JTED Governing Board to order. Chris, could we have roll call? Brenda, unmute. You there? Calling Brenda.
Here.
Alex, talk to me.
That would be me.
Dr. Pete?
Here.
Dr.
Here. Okay, thank you. Let's stand for the pledge. We could have our student representatives lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we read a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the campuses of Pima JTED are set on the land of indigenous peoples. With Arizona being home to 22 federally recognized tribes, we respectfully recognize that indigenous people have been living and working on this land since time immemorial. Then we need a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay, the agenda is approved. And next we have recognitions. Mr. Deanna.
Chairman Schlanger, members of the board, Superintendent Prather, I'd like to introduce you to our EMT students and program. So if the ones who are here tonight could come forward and stand in front of the dais. And their certificates, we have students also on Zoom with Mr. Zach Graham. And so all the certificates are with Mr. Graham for these students. And our instructors are Kara Truxa and Zach Graham. And we also have Andres Yezebel from who is the program skills instructor. And tonight we're recognizing these students because during Southern Arizona Construction Career Days, this program often runs the EMT first aid tent. And most years they see about 4 or 5 patients a year. This year, the Construction Career Days were held on October 23rd and 24th. And if you'll recall, the temps reached up into the hundreds, very hot. So these students treated over 35 patients, 2 of which required transport to the hospital via ambulance. And fortunately, everyone's okay, but in large part, they're all okay due to these students and our staff. And there's close to between 3,500 and 4,000 people at this event over the 2 days. So we appreciate that our students did such great work and they met that challenge with incredible professionalism. Their training came into play and they demonstrated their skill and that they are wonderful future first responders who will fill that role very well when they get on the real teams of being first responders and actually going out with crews. So all the students were well trained and prepared and we thank them for that. The students include Thomas Williams. Sophia Acheta is here. Go ahead and raise your hand. We have Alyssa Probst, Sophia Di Ponyo, Hesley Correa, Imelda Osborne, Kira Tafoya, Madi and Angela Bustamante, Emmeline Moreno, Kai Lowry, Mason Ernest, Nate Fox, Cassandra Herrera Guerrero, Brett Johnson, Nicholas Ariano, Eduardo Salcido, Chance Cobb, Anais Martinez Hernandez, Mai Tran, and then of course instructor Zach Graham, our skills instructor, Andres Yazabal, and Jaden Yates, who is a program lab assistant. Also we have here tonight, Alec Brimmer and Chris Treviso. So congratulations students on doing an outstanding job. We appreciate your efforts at Southern Arizona Construction Career Days. Did a great public service. There you And to Mr. Graham's class again, thank you very much for joining us on Zoom. And next we have David Fuller, our 3D animation and game design instructor, and his class is here supporting him tonight. David Fuller was recently notified that he is being honored with the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association 2024-2025 Teacher Excellence Award. The Teacher of Excellence Award is one of the highest honors given to technology and engineering education classroom teachers at the elementary, middle school, and high school level. It was established to identify outstanding teachers who are making a significant difference in the lives of their students and their development of technological literacy. David will be recognized at the ITEEA 2025 conference in St. Louis, Missouri in April, a well-deserved honor. Thank you for all you do for your students every day. See if Mr. Fuller's students would come forward and join in the picture here real quick. Come on up, guys. It's all students. Mr. Fuller's gonna have to step up front. All people in the back. Get everybody in. More people over on this side here. Thanks. Yep. Are we all good? Yeah. Thank you, Miss Atterbury Pierpont. No bunny ears. That was never funny. All righty, we good? There we go. Awesome photo. Okay, let's do one without the bunny ears. Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations, Mr. Fuller. And next up, we have one more. We have Mr. Mike Thierson, our graphic design instructor, who's worked for Pima JTED for over 16 years. And Mr. Thierson was selected as our 2024-2025 Legendary Teacher of the Year. His students run Next Design at JTED at Flowing Well, which is a student enterprise providing graphic design, embroidery, and screen printing services to his clients. And who better to hear from what makes him a legendary teacher than his students? So, Mr. Maltestini, if we can roll the video, please. Thank you.
I've been an artist my whole life. When I was a little kid, that was the only thing that I was interested in school. And thankfully, my parents were supportive. And my first job was as a graphic designer at the University of Arizona, which led to an advertising agency here in Tucson. When it became time for a change in life, I shifted gears and went to University of Arizona to find out what's entailed in a teaching cert. And when I went and sat down with the professor in the art education department, from the moment we started talking, it was like something clicked for me. And I knew, like, oh, this is what I've been supposed to be doing my whole life. So my master's thesis was to create a new class for Flowing Wells' art department. And I added a single section of graphic design, and it was kind of a hit on campus.
Thierson has shown kids that they could do anything they want. Even if you bite off more than you could chew, he gives you more time to work through it. He's always there to help you. I love this class. He makes the work environment so much fun. He's super understanding when it comes to anything that's going on in my life and anybody else's life.
I feel really fortunate to be able to do what I do because the most meaningful experience of my educational career was being in the studio space. So many magical moments happened in the studio and connections between the teacher and peers and all of that stuff. And here in my professional day-to-day life, I get to just foster that every day.
I feel thankful because I feel like if it weren't for him and if it weren't for the class and other people, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. I would probably just be that one kid who doesn't talk to a lot of people. But if it weren't for them to get me out of my shell, especially Surson, and go to different places and take those risks and chances, I'm just so thankful I got those opportunities.
I've watched so many kids become inspired and grow into adults and find meaning in their adult life through creativity in so many ways. And it's great to see that being an artist is part of their lives as an adult, and a big part of where it started was here within these walls.
There's never a dull moment in the classroom. He always tries to make kids feel involved, and he kind of makes himself be the goof of the classroom, so that way it gives more of like a playful kind of vibe.
A lot of the fun beyond the computer screen happens when we run our business, and kids get to collaborate as a team and see their ideas come to fruition in real products in real life. They work with clients and customers. They see the extra work that goes into it. That's not just creativity, but it's financials and billing and ordering supplies and dealing with people's moods and personalities. Creativity is part of it, but it's definitely not the whole picture of becoming an artist in adult life.
It's a game changer. I mean, I already have my foot in the door, not even leaving high school yet. I have experience with real people. I have experience with professional machinery. You just get to do so many fun things. Like the screen printing's fun, heat press is fun, and it's the one space where it's okay to design something. It's okay to make mistakes. And thanks to the field trips with learning our leadership and communication skills, it's almost as if we were already working before going into a workforce.
I'm very aware that a lot of the kids who fit in here might not in other parts of campus or maybe feel like they do in the world. So I welcome the misfits and outsiders and shy private type people because I know that they're likely to find their tribe here within these walls.
The best part is being able to work with students that are kind of like you in the sense where they could be weird and quirky, but they all have the same goal. They love to create. Everyone gets along with everyone. There's so much culture in here. You have the kids who speak Spanish, kids who don't, and either way, they're so patient with everyone. But it is just one big family.
Art is all around us, and it makes the world a more beautiful place and a special place to be a part of. And so I feel really fortunate to get to have my whole life revolve around art and creativity and be able to share with that with the world and my students in meaningful ways every day.
I am so excited to announce our legendary teacher from the JTED Central Campus. Would Mike Surson please?
In a way, I was very proud because he's my teacher. It was very deserving. I was probably the loudest when they came to announce it. I was super excited for him and happy for him. My first reaction was, yep, that was expected because he is an amazing teacher and it's almost impossible not to notice him. Like kids coming into the classroom, even though they're not signed up for this class.
I'm just honored to be part of this world and know that it matters. And I do feel seen receiving this recognition.
Woohoo! Go Surson!
I love that the student said a game changer. And so, Mike, we heard from your students. You are indeed a legendary teacher. So thank you for being on our team, and thank you for everything you do for us. And now Chairman Schlanger and members of the board and Superintendent Prather. Oh, we have family members for Mr. Surson's wife. We're very family oriented here at JTED. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you to Craig Mills for putting that video together about Mr. Searson. And next, I would like to introduce my colleague, Kimberly McCory, Professional Development Specialist, who has some recognitions for our teachers who have satisfied their requirements for certification. Ms. McCory.
Good evening, Superintendent Prather, Chairman Schlinger, and Governing Board members. It is our honor tonight to celebrate the hard work of our local educators who have shown their commitment to career and technical education profession through the completion of our Industry to Educator Institute. Our Professional Development Department extends our gratitude to the board, our member districts, and our honorees' families for supporting their growth and your presence tonight to celebrate them. We celebrate their accomplishment of completing 15 Premier Series courses within 3 years. The Premier Series is an array of courses designed to provide teachers with the skills they need to be successful as an educator in the CTE program. Their accomplishment is no small feat considering these professionals balance transitioning to a new career and growing CTE programs simultaneously. We applaud their dedication to student success and encourage them to continue their professional growth. Our first teacher that we'll be recognizing tonight is Juanita Mari. She teaches digital photography at Vail District. We asked each teacher 3 questions. The first question we asked was, what is the most rewarding part about being a teacher? She said it's the opportunity to forge meaningful connections with students and positively influence their lives, whether through photography, design, or the everyday adventures they share. She has a background in cosmetology, which led her to photographing hairstylists, and that eventually brought her to teaching digital photography. And her favorite Premier Series course was using rubrics to increase student success because it helped her guide her students in understanding the specific criteria for their project at various levels. I have some family here tonight if they want to come up and take a picture. Teacher is joining us remotely. We have Michael Bates online. And Michael teaches the heavy equipment operations program at Pima JTED. And like a typical teacher, he didn't want to leave his students tonight, so he's joining us remotely. He says his favorite part about teaching is helping students to gain experience in a career-oriented trade and job placement. He was previously a subcontractor in industry, and before that, he worked in the school system in Montana, and his favorite Premier Series class was lesson plan writing. The last teacher we have in person with us tonight is Anne Green. She teaches law and public safety for the Marana District. And she said the best thing about being a teacher for her is the opportunity to make impactful differences in student lives. She is a retired correctional officer of 20 years, and her favorite Premier Series class was Instructional Best Practices. She enjoyed the course because it gave her a starting point before she started in the classroom, and she feels that the course made the largest impact on how she's organized and structured her classroom, both physically and procedurally. We have three teachers who were not able to join us tonight. The first one was Ryan Ripple, who teaches film and TV at Tankerverde High School. Liana Carrasco, who teaches stagecraft at Rio Rico High School. And Nicole Nessenbaum, who is our ECE instructional assistant at Mountain View for Pima JTED. So we are just so proud of all of them, and thank you for everything.
We are during an open board meeting, but those of you who need to get back to class for Mr. Fuller's students, or if you'd like to excuse yourself at this time, now's a good moment to step out quietly, and then we'll resume the meeting. Chairman Schlanger, I turn the floor back over to you.
Thank you. We wait a few minutes for everybody to leave. David. David. See you tomorrow. Okay. Next up, we need to have a motion to adjourn the regular meeting for a public hearing
So move.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's a public hearing for the budget.
Yes, sir.
All right, any members of the public want to comment on the budget? Seeing none, we need a motion to reconvene the regular meeting.
So move.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we're back in the regular meeting. Okay. Then we have call to the public. Nope, nobody wants to talk to us. Okay, and correspondence and reports. So I believe we'll start with the student representatives. And we can start at this end and work down. And go ahead and introduce you. Turn your mic on. Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diego Lujan from the 3D animation class taught by Mr. Fuller himself. It's pretty popular. I'm truly honored to be chosen to be a student governing board representative for the 3D animation program for 2024 through 2025 school year. We are currently working hard on our 3D animation night chapter for our CTSO Skills USA. We recently had a Minecraft Hunger Game event using a server and cybersecurity, allowing us a chance to run an event and a possible fundraiser in the future, where we had around 20 people compete for first, second, and third place awards. We also use Saturdays to practice for our state and hopefully national competitions. But now that I've said that, I want to reintroduce you guys to our class, and mostly it's because I feel like recently our class is kind of looked down on. That's my personal opinion, but I want to reintroduce the board to our class. We're 3D animation, so what you could do is you step into the world of cutting edge creativity with our 3D animation class, where innovation meets quality at every turn. Designed for aspiring animators and seasoned artists alike, our course is a journey through the limitless possibilities of digital storytelling. In an age where technology is so everywhere, constantly evolving too, we ensure that our students are equipped with the latest tools and technology and techniques, allowing them to push boundaries and shape the future of animation. But at the core of our program is a commitment to quality. We believe that great animation is not just about mastering softwares, it's about mastering the art from character design to lighting and rendering. We focus on the fundamentals that elevate animation from good to extraordinary. Our instructor, industry professional with years of experience, guides students through a hands-on curriculum blending theories and practice to achieve high-quality professional results. But above all, it's passion that fuels this creative journey. Our class is built for those who are driven to create, who are excited to bring their vision to life, and who are eager to contribute to the future of the animation industry. Whether you're designing for a film, gaming, or virtual reality, our course will ignite your creativity spark and inspire you to take your craft to the next level. That's all I have for that section. I split my speech into sections. Sorry, this is not professional. It's my first time doing it. So I want to talk about the future of our program. Vertex Visions, which I submitted to the IT person, is an online business created by students and ran by the students with the association at JTED. Oh, I thought I was going to pull it up. Sorry. That's Vertex Visions. Like I said, it's an online business created by students and run by students with the association of JTED. Well, Vertex Vision is my contribution for our future as a digital business and class. Being a student in this class and many others like it has made me realize that we learn how to create all these amazing things, but a lot of us don't know the business side of this profession we chase. One of the goals of Vertex Visions is to give the students the experience of a freelancing, of selling their own work, and continuing finding themselves by developing their own brand. This kind of transitions into another one of our goals with Vertex Visions, the business side of which is to provide amazing quality 3D works to those who need quality 3D models, animation, and environments in exchange for funds. The reason for this is because while working as a CTSO member in this class, I see how hard it is for us to receive good funding, causing us to not have the best equipment we can, limiting our potential as a class. But I had an idea to start providing our 3D works to those who are interested in it for before mentioned funding. I have big plans that I wish I could make into reality, not just for me, but for the future of this class, after me, after Mr. Fuller, after everyone. I want to make this class even better. All of our obtained funding will go through JTED the proper way, just to provide our students the experience of being involved in a business. They are most likely going to do, bless you, sorry. Our student, sorry. We want to do this because most of the students that are going to 3D animation want to pursue this as a serious career. And I feel like this would provide them the business experience necessary to go into that career. And also while making funds for the program to allow us to buy better equipment. And being a student in that program, I believe it's necessary and it helps everyone. In closing, I am excited about the future of our 3D animation program and the opportunities that lie ahead for both our students and the industry. With projects like Vertex Visions, we are not only enhancing our skills, but also laying the foundation for a thriving, self-sustaining program that will benefit students for generations to come. The passion, creativity, and drive of our class will continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in animation, and I'm truly honored to be a part of this journey. Thank you all for your support, and I look forward to all that we will accomplish together. Do you want me to guide you guys to the website first? Do you mind if I show this off? I don't want to take too much time.
No, that's fine.
If you look at the screen, you can see Vertex Vision's the website. The IT guy. I'm sorry, what's your name? I don't want to just call you the IT guy. Frank was kindly guiding us through the website so far. So you saw the home page, and it has subcategories. The first ones are home, student works, and check us out. It's nothing set in stone yet, but this is just the outline from it. I've already talked to Mr. Rojas about it. He's liked the idea, but I've already told you the idea. But this is how it's going to look like. I want it to be a way for students to get the business experience in like real life situations while helping us as well. It shows students working. If you can go to Students Works and press it, thank you. It shows, if you scroll down, sorry, it feels a bit rude. it will showcase the student works, and it even, so we're not just stealing their works. We have like links to the socials. We credit them for everything they do. We want to involve them in this. This is a student ran thing with the association at JTED. Holding our hands in going into the future of this program, hopefully. I want to leave something behind when I leave to help this class become even better. And working in this class for 2 years now, this is my second year. Um, I feel like the being a treasurer too, as well as in the skills, it's hard to come around funds and making events. It's so like much. I want to create a self-sustaining program, and I feel like this is such a big for a step if I can get it to go. If you go to check us out, there should be a shop there. Can you press it, please? A subcategory shop. This is what I kind of want it to look like. That's where you'll be able to purchase things. You can't buy anything yet because I still need to talk to the financing about it and have them approve it. But this is just a mock of what I want it to look like. You can see models there. You can press them. It'll give you descriptions. It has a price and all that. Nothing is set in stone yet. You cannot buy these. I want to make it clear. None of this is for sale. This is just a mock of it. I don't want to get in trouble. I want to get Mr. Fuller in trouble. He's a great teacher. So this is what it looks like, and this is my vision for the future. I want us to be able to make steady funds while promoting and putting student works out there. They'll get credit for what they do, and they get to know that, okay, this is how we sell myself. This is how we brand. Because a lot of kids that take these classes are very shy and hard to speak. I've been in a lot of these classes, and what I've experienced is a lot of closed people. But in the industry we're going in, it's very important to have your own brand, your own represent, putting yourself out there for others. You have to promote yourself, and it's so important to do that. And I feel like if we incorporate the students into this, it is just so imperative for their future. And I feel like it can help them so much. I just want to, my personal, I feel like I can't be a good 3D animator, but I want to help the students who are really good at it, who are really good at it and talented, become better businessmen and animators, because it's not just animation, it's also business. I'm sorry it took so much time, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I feel really bad. I feel like I messed it up. Thank you guys again.
Well, don't feel bad for sharing. It's very inspirational. You're obviously very dedicated to your field and very excited about it. And I'm sure that that excitement extends to the other students in the class. And really appreciate you sharing all that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't believe this is your first time presenting. You're so mature. You're so inspiring. I'm ready to buy something.
Thank you very much.
So I thank you for your presentation and helping us. And it's clear that you have a passion for helping other people. So I congratulate you.
Thank you very much. I want to give thanks to my teacher. He's not here. He passed away, but his name is Mr. Trevor. I wouldn't be here where I am now without him. He gave me the ability to speak as I do. I used to be very shy, and this is my first time presenting professionally anything. And I don't know. I just love talking to people. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your compliment. I really appreciate it. I will take it to my heart, man. I really mean it. Thank you so much.
You're also, you validate why we're here. It's to inspire students to go out there and do good. And it's because of students like you that go out into the community that our reputation is growing. So thank you. Maybe a hard act to follow, but I'm sure you can do really well.
Good evening, everyone. My name is
Lift it up. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jasmine Arouse. I'm a second-year cosmetology student at the Camino Seco campus, where I am the Skills USA president. I'm also attending Saguaro High School. I am very honored to be speaking to all of you guys today and very grateful for the opportunity that JTED gives us. I'm honored to be speaking on behalf of the cosmetology department and excited to tell you about the developments in our cosmetology program here at JTED. As a cosmetology student, we are going into our second year where we are actively working on the salon floor. This has been invaluable, and it allows us to work on our professional skills and practical work. We are now taking in walk-ins and clients. We have recently completed our chapter in hair coloring, which was both amazing, fun, but also quite challenging because we study new skills and sometimes it could be overwhelming. We are now going into our chemical treatment unit, which includes perm and relaxers. This progression in our curriculum is equipping us with a comprehensive understanding of various cosmetology techniques and preparing us to meet diverse needs of our future clients. In addition to our technical skills, we are also engaged in community service projects in and around Tucson supporting Skills USA. We are currently running 2 service drives for the Salvation Army. The first is an angel tree where we are collecting gifts for children in need of caring, compassion, and might not other get it. The second one is a blanket drive, which is aimed at providing warmth and comfort to those less fortunate during the colder months. These initiatives not only allow us to give back to the community, but also help us develop a sense of social responsibility and empathy. Being able to give back to my community is really important to me, and JTED has helped me feel more confident professionally and personally. I have learned to work with people of all ages and cultural backgrounds when they come into the salon. The clients are diverse, and my exposure has helped me take what I am learning back home into my community. I am especially thankful for the opportunity to participate in an industry that will support me as I work through college. I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse, and JSID has helped me solidify that decision because I have worked with all different kinds of people, children, and people with special needs. That has been a very heartwarming experience and gave me experience that I would otherwise not have. I like helping people, and JTED has allowed me to do that through the cosmetology by giving them a new sense of confidence that they might not other have. And a lot of the time they walk out and they tell me something like, I feel so much prettier, I feel so much better. It really is a relief. Like just even a simple haircut makes them more confident in more ways than one. I have also learned how to apply my studies to my own personal appearance, which has made me increase my confidence. I used to be really shy and try to stay away from public speaking, meeting new people, and try new things. But now with JTED, it has allowed me to grow as a person, and now I am in my school student council at Saguaro and has started a club with a few other of my friends called Latinos Unidos, which has been really important to me because it allows me to spread my culture and my just something that makes me who I am to my school. And without JTED, I don't think I would be able to do that. I just want to take the time to thank you for all listening and for allowing me to share a little bit about me and what we have learned in our cosmetology program so far. We are very excited to continue learning. We're not done with all of our in-deep knowledge of cosmetology, but everything we learned so far has been a blessing, and it gives us like everything that we need to be cosmetologists, and it allows us to bring more people into the community in the field of cosmetology that otherwise not might be. Thank you.
Thank you. That was excellent. Clearly you have passion, and giving back to the community is so important. And that's the core of what we're trying to promote here, I think, is not only excellence in your chosen field, but giving back to the community. That's the only way we'll get better. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gage, and I actually have a PowerPoint that I put together that talks about the program that I'm in. So I think I sent it to you. I hope I did. Can't see.
Yeah, the one that says page. That's it.
Where to go? So the program that I am in is called Project Search, and basically what it is I'm not sure if they allow kids to do it while they're still in high school, but I know for me, right after I graduated, I came here to this campus, and basically what we do in our program is it gives us volunteer experience for maybe it might not always be like the type of field you want to go into, but it gives you work experience in different types of fields. For me, it has actually given me a lot of experience for what I want to go into, because I intern at Banner South Hospital in the maintenance section, and I'm actually there to become a mechanical engineer after I graduate from this program. So it has helped me learn how to deal with mechanics, such as like fixing elevators or broken sinks. Also fix a lot of fire alarms. Not good at that. Anyway, so a little bit about me is for high school, I went to Micah Mountain High School. Well, I started at Cienega, and then I transferred to Micah my junior year. And then after this program, like I said, I want to become a mechanical engineer. Hopefully. And then my experience from this program, my first internship that I did for all of the first quarter of school was supply chain, which was basically what I did was I took out all the cardboard, wiped down all the shelves, and I took I emptied a lot of the boxes with like the medicine, bandages, and stuff like that for that one. Currently, like I said, I'm in maintenance, helping fix elevators and like broken sinks. Occasionally we go up and we do like Christmas stuff, like putting up Christmas lights, Christmas trees, and whatever else needs or people want to be put up. I'm also in a club called FBLA, and what that stands for is Future Business Leaders of America. I am the president of our club. And we actually, I want to say 3 weeks ago, that picture we all went, or me and the other people that are in the club, it's our president, secretary, treasurer, and I don't know what the other one is, I forgot. But those are some of my friends that are also in the club with me. That picture was actually taken up in Phoenix about 3 weeks ago when we were up there for officer training and competition. And then about, I'd say 3-4 months ago, I actually spoke at the ribbon cutting here and in front of the mayor and a few other people. I believe Jim Click was also there. I don't remember who was all there. And then Governor Katie Hobbs was there. Met her. That was awesome. So that is a picture from when I did that. And then throughout our program, we have to do different online things. So we did this thing called e-food handlers. And basically what that does is it gives you a lesson. And then at the end of that lesson, you take a test. And if you pass the test, which in order to pass, you need at least 75%. Anything lower, it basically fails you. But for that, it gives you your e-food handlers card, which it looks really good on resumes for anybody that wants to be or go into the restaurant field, because it shows that you have experience with working with food, which is going to look really good. Whereas if you're someone that doesn't have experience, if you don't have your e-food handlers card, there's still a chance that you'll get the job. But if somebody that has their card is up for the job, they're going to have a higher chance of getting it because they have actual experience in that field. And then we also had to do CPR training for, I think it was like a 4-hour class one day. And that basically shows us the proper way to give CPR to infants, toddlers, and adults. And it shows us what not to do. One thing you don't do is give me a child. I'm just kidding. And then we also did, for our program, we have to do community service twice throughout the year, once per semester. The first time we did a thing called Rise Up, which is just a fundraiser where you create or you get 20 different people to send you their email or their phone number. And then those people, or if you can get other people throughout like your community to do it, they basically send you money to your email. And then after that, it basically what we use that money for is we save it up till the end of the year, and then when, like, for our FBLA stuff, we can throw like a party or have like some sort of cookout with the money that we raise. And then for our second one, which is going to be, I believe, right after Christmas break, I believe we said we were going to do a car wash somewhere. It's either that or we're doing another Rise Up, but we have to do another fundraiser sometime during the second semester. So we do that as community service. And we also, for a second part of our community service, we made online Christmas cards and sent them to cancer patients over at St. Jude Hospital. So that was a really fun experience for me personally, because I like spreading joy to other people and I like helping people. So that was really fun for me to do. And then this is something that my teacher wrote. I cannot really see, so I don't really know what any of that says. Please. I can't see anything.
From Mr. King, I regret that I could not be there this evening, but I have no doubt that Gage has been, does that say dull? Duly capable of presenting himself in Project Search with great insight, clarity, and enthusiasm. Gage is one of the finest students I've ever had the privilege of working with. He is an upstanding young man and a benefit to our district, our program, and our community.
Thanks, man. So that is just something my teacher wrote. Thank you, Mr. King. I know you're not here, but thank you. Not doing anything? Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for any of the students? Okay. Oh, sure.
This is nothing important, but I just want to thank all of you guys for taking the opportunity to listen to us three students. This means a lot to our programs and us as a people. We are honored to be heard by you guys. It means so much to us, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Oh, we definitely appreciate the feedback and need it as a means of monitoring the programs and constantly trying to improve them. So your feedback is critical. Thanks. Okay. Next, we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I don't know how this happens, but I always get to follow the students, and that's hard to follow. And so I just want to thank you, Diego, Jasmine, and Gage, for presenting tonight. And you are why we do what we do. Everything we do is for the student experience, for you to have the best experience while you're at JTED. So thank you so much for sharing. I had the honor this morning of attending the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce 40 Under 40, where one of our own, Joanna Grijalva, who is now known as Joanna Fontes, she was honored with being named one of the 40 Under 40. And she is our coordinator for our veterinary science program. And I also had an opportunity to speak with her yesterday and learned that we had our first surgeries in our new veterinary science program this past Saturday. We had a clinic, and so for the first time, we were using we have a surgery suite, and that includes a sterilization lab and a radiology lab, and it was in use. And we had, everybody okay down there? Okay, something fell through. There's a hole where a computer used to be, and so we've got these little holes, something fell down there. But anyway, we had a number of patients that were operated on who had surgeries, and these are veterinary patients, of course. These are pets, and the doctor, the veterinary doctor who oversaw everything, is informing us that all the patients are recovering nicely. Everything went well. Our students assist. They don't actually do the surgeries, but the veterinarian does, and they help. And so I guess it went very, very well, and it was a very exciting, monumental moment for our program. And I just have to say, when you get things done, people notice and come to you to get more done. And that's exactly what is happening. I couldn't be prouder of our entire faculty and staff, those at the front lines and those that do the important work behind the scenes. All of us are part of that. But the follow through and the trust the community has in us has led to Pima JTED receiving word of 2 substantial grants totaling over $3 million that will benefit our central and satellite JTED programs in the areas of sustainability, industrial technology, and healthcare. And so congratulations to our entirety of faculty and staff for continuing to get it done. And so congratulations to everyone. And that concludes my report this evening.
It's always exciting stuff. Governing board members, it's the first meeting I've been sitting here by myself. It's kind of lonely. But we've got Brenda. You have anything to report?
No, I don't. This month I've been kind of busy in personal stuff, and so maybe next month.
Okay, very good. Wayne?
I had an opportunity to participate in a training and seminar for AI in the healthcare field, and 2 takeaways. One is that it will absolutely transform how healthcare is delivered, from diagnoses to improved interpretation of our diagnostic tests, etc. The second is that these AI requirements require large data centers that need data center technicians do not require a college degree. However, they're highly compensated, north of $100,000 a year. And in addition, on the construction side, there is a great need for graduates in the construction trade with the specialty of building these data centers. It will be as profound and large as the interstate highway system was under the Eisenhower administration. So stay tuned, but a lot of good things are happening. That's my report.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. And I don't have anything of note to report. A quiet month. So next we have, I guess Tina's here with the operating budget.
Yes, hi, board members. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, so this month I present to you the year-to-date operating budget. Like last month, there's not a lot of new to report other than our revenues are catching up to our expenditures. So we are seeing more state aid and property tax revenues coming in proportionally to the balance of the fiscal year. We're about almost halfway through. Hard to believe that we're about to have winter break. But again, the revenues are starting to catch up. We'll see, of course, a lot more revenues coming in the second part of the fiscal year. As far as expenditures go, we're well under the 50% mark in most categories. You can see salaries and benefits. We're just right at about the 50% mark, which is where we should be. And so again, we're in great financial shape. And I'll talk a little bit later about the revised budget and what that entails and what the future looks like for our budget. But with that, I'll take any questions.
Any questions for Tina? No, I guess not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to information and updates, Lana Baldwin as an overview of our strategic planning process.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you tonight. My name is Lana Baldwin. I'm a consultant with Alexander Carrillo Consulting, and I have the joy and privilege of helping to facilitate and lead JTED through a strategic planning process for about the next 6 months or so. So just quickly, a little about the firm I work for. Alexander Carrillo is a 15-year-old firm here in Tucson, co-founded by Laura Alexander and Jenny Carrillo. And we exist solely to help nonprofit organizations in our community do good work better. That's what we do. And strategic planning is a large portion of what we do, in addition to a number of other ways that we help nonprofits to do the good and hard and meaningful work that makes our community a better place. So there are a lot of definitions of what strategic planning is and what it looks like. I like to use this one from Bloomerang. Strategic planning is the process of creating a blueprint that guides an organization for a specified time period and helps accomplish its goals. The strategic planning process involves reflecting on your mission to identify your most important goals and determining the strategies you'll use to reach them. So that's what I'm going to be helping this organization do over the next 6 months. That work will be grounded in a fairly large steering committee for this process. I think we have about 20 people or so who will be engaged in that, and that includes both internal stakeholders, staff and leadership of the organization, as well as external stakeholders. So folks representing different sectors that JTED partners with and works with in accomplishing its mission. So a little bit about our approach to strategic planning as a firm. We believe that there is no one-size-fits-all process for strategic planning. It really has to be grounded in the organization's mission and values. And that said, we do bring a tried and true framework to the table. We believe that the process is as important as the product. At the end of the day, you'll have a wonderful, actionable, inspiring, and aspirational strategic plan. But the conversations that we have along the way to complete that project are going to be as impactful for the organization as the end product itself. We believe that strategic planning should center the client, in this case JTED, and the community. So that means not geographically, but the sectors of the community that you serve. And I have to say, in the vein of centering the people you serve, in my 24-year career in the nonprofit community here in Tucson, I have been to a lot of board meetings, and I don't think I've ever attended one as mission focused and inspirational as the one that I've had the chance to be at tonight. So thank you and kudos to you for doing that incredibly good work to center what we're here for. Why are we here? Why do we do this work? And in the same vein, our strategic planning process will include input from those people we serve, those people we partner with, everyone from our students to teachers, administrators, the staff within JTED, industry partners, and many others we've identified. And we'll gather that input through focus groups, through interviews, and through surveys. And so I expect some of you in this room will have the opportunity to give that input, along with many others. We want to ground our strategic planning in the values and the vision of the organization. This is your strategic plan and has to be something that you believe in, are invested in, and you are inspired to do the work to further every day. We believe that planning is a partnership, not only between me as a facilitator and the organization. Should I put it down? but also between JTED and the many partners in the community. The final product must be a useful tool that is not something that sits on a shelf, but is something that instead is regularly revisited and is implementable, and we have an implementation plan for. It must communicate the vision, future direction, and priorities of the organization and inspire the support of the community. We should be able to take our strategic plan at the end of the day to the funding community and say, don't you want to invest in and be part of this amazing work that we have planned? And finally, my role in this process is to manage the project, to manage the process, to be a thought partner and to challenge assumptions along the way, and to be an objective researcher that brings together the data to inform good decision making. So just a few words about the board's role in strategic planning. Strategic planning, setting strategic direction for an organization is one of the key roles of a board of directors. And in this case, that I think we're going to do some aerial perhaps. And in this case, the board is vesting the authority to lead the staff through a strategic planning process in your chief executive and Kathy. And also we'll be engaging directly in the process by participating in the steering committee. Bob, I know that you're going to be right there alongside us for the next 6 months doing that work, by making your voices heard and giving input through focus groups and surveys, and through being kept in the loop through process and progress updates along the way. At the end of the day, it is the board's role to ensure that the strategic plan is in alignment with the organization's mission and vision and values, and final approval of the plan lies with the board of directors. And then, because a strategic plan is only useful if it is regularly revisited and progress notes are made on an ongoing basis, it's the board's responsibility to understand the progress that is being made toward the goals within the plan. So with that very quick overview, I'd be happy to take any questions you have.
I have two questions. One is, as you can tell, we very much value our students. And could you just very briefly discuss how the student voices will be heard in this process? And then the second question I have is, I've been through several strategic planning processes, and there are, goals and objectives, but sometimes they seem to fail because they don't have measurable objectives, or they don't help us find a better way of measuring our progress as we meet or don't meet those objectives. And I wonder if you might just say a few words about that piece as well.
Sure. So let me address your first question first. And part of the answer is that the design of what the input from any particular group looks like has not yet been done. That's something that we will do together as we start this work. And that's some of what the steering committee will be doing in our first meeting. So exactly how we solicit input from students has not yet been decided. However, the students were absolutely identified already in our conversations, which began just yesterday in earnest, as one of the key constituent groups who absolutely need to have a voice and whose voice will be incredibly powerful and meaningful in impacting the direction of the strategic plan. So there are multiple ways that we gather input. And some of our primary tools are going to be surveys, which students could do on their own time, focus groups, which would allow us to talk to a smaller number of students, but in a more in-depth way and have more conversation. And those are probably the primary tools that we'll use. There are some very innovative things that we've done with other clients and other strategic planning processes, where, say, we had a computer kiosk set up in a central location in a place like this where students are frequenting, and we'd have a word of the day and students were welcome to come by and give their input. So there are lots of things that we can do to be creative, to engage with students, and I would love to hear some of their input as well about ways that would be meaningful for them to give input into the process. So your second question was really about metrics and making sure that the plan we create is actionable. And so the plan that we will deliver together at the end of this process will not just be a set of aspirations with no real roadmap behind them. They will be a set of aspirations and strategic priorities with very specific goals we want to achieve. And for every goal, a set of clearly identified actions we're going to take, the parties responsible for those actions, the timeline on which we intend to take them, and how we're going to measure our progress with KPIs related to that goal. So that implementation plan is a really critical piece of ensuring that we have something that is really useful for the organization. Is that helpful?
Yes, thanks for those clarifications.
Sure. Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much for your time this evening. I'm so excited to be working with JTED.
It sounds exciting and different than what we've done before. So I look forward to working with you on this. Thank you. Next, we have an update on Building 2 from David Eves.
Good evening, governing board members. Thank you for the opportunity to come and talk with you tonight. As we were listening through all the presentations earlier, I was reminiscing about my time on the school board for the Sarita Unified School District, and just the uplifting kick you kind of get from these meetings and hearing all of the wonderful things that the community and the students are achieving. So thank you for that. The other thing I was thinking about was my older brother in 1982-83 was attending a JTED. I think it was part of Amphi School District, not sure. It was on Oracle and Prince. But I remember picking Jim up with my dad from JTED. Must have been Tuesdays and Thursday evenings doing something. So lots of reminiscing. So anyway, I've got a few slides to share with you. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Kathy and I had run into each other at the Southern Arizona Leadership Council a few weeks ago. And Kathy had mentioned, could you come talk to the board and kind of give us an update on JTED 2? So before we jump into that, isn't it funny how we always point at the TV to make it click? Should I point it back to the laptop? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Can you guys see that okay up there? Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, long evening. I know that we've been going through a lot, so I'm going to move quickly and then we'll have some Q&A towards the end. So one, I wanted to just give you an update on the remaining work to get done in terms of what's to be completed and a timeline related to that. On number 2, 3, we'll talk about additional request work and the strategic plans for that. And then number 4, we're going to touch on the building envelope and give you an update there. And then I just kind of wanted to close a little bit with the historical relationship between our two companies, or our company and JTED. So does that sound okay to everybody? Yeah, okay. Oh, and before we move into that, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's good. Okay, thanks so much. It was Frank, right? Yeah, thanks, Frank. So you guys have all heard the term punch list, right? Does anybody know where that term comes from? Fun fact, punch list, 150, 200 years ago, it was common for the architect and the builder to be the same, right? And so when you got towards the end of a project, there would be a list, a typed up list. And in order to get that list completed, it had to have a hole punched on that, hence the punch list. So, someone had asked me years ago, I forget, but what is a punch list? It seems like an aggressive term. Well, it's a list of things that have to be completed. So in any event, the beginning of this month on the 2nd, there was an updated punch list of 230 items. Of that, 130 of them have been complete, so essentially 56.2%. Balance of open items, 43%, about 100 items. Additional work requests, balance open items, there's 7 of those, and then 5 are still pending, just getting some paperwork and things. In terms of warranty work to date on JTED 2 building, there's been 43 work order requests completed on that. So, yeah, Frank, if you could help me, or I'll try it here. Okay, great. So, fun facts. So we got winter break coming up on us. And before I get into this, I kind of wanted to give some context on the this building that we're standing in here, JTED 1. When this building was completed, there was a punch list generated, a list of things that needed to be done, around 400 items. And so the mission really was to get the building open and get the students in. And then there would be a remaining amount of items to get done. Through that season and that time with Delbert Dittmer, with Dan Bishop, with Ed Cochran, who were here, it was about 4 months to grind through that punch list as a way of comparison. Fast forward to JTED 2, there was actually 677 punch list items, and that's been ground down to what was just issued out here at the beginning of the month to the tune of the 277, if memory serves. So winter break that's upon us and coming up, we've got 16 calendar days to try and get as much of that done as possible. However, assuming with the working days available, with December 23rd, 24th, 25th being questionable with getting participation from the trade partners and the holidays. So blended net 56 total available hours. It's hard to make a dent in a list that long. My team has been pushing with the trade partners, leveraging those relationships and really trying to get as much as we can out of those 16 days while the students are out. Essentially trying to get as much done with that 160 hours that are available. It'll be plus or minus, managing expectations. We will not have everything completed at the end of winter break. So the next windows of opportunity to come in and tackle those things, spring break. And we're working on some other things with Kathy and her team. And I do want to take a moment and just let you guys know how patient Kathy has been with BFL. We have had our struggles trying to finish out the JTED 2 punch list. And so Kathy and your team has been great to work with. Born and their team has been great to work with. So thank you for being patient with us as we work through those. So other windows of time available, those discussions are in process. We'll see. We'll take a temperature when we come up for air after the winter break. So the intention is to get 99% of that done. Some of those things additionally they're going to be working on is the epoxy rework and starting some of the flooring overlays. I don't know if you can see this very well. I apologize for not having a better exhibit, but you can see there's a color coded here. You've got orange and purple and green. And so for those who can't see it, the orange is indicating where a particular flooring product is going to be being installed. The purple is another Tarquette product, and then the green is indicating where some of the epoxy is going to be reworked. That's on the first floor. Next slide is the second floor. The green's indicating some of the other areas that the epoxy needs to be reworked. Okay, so we'll see again what happens, what's left on the list for spring break, and when we can get in to get things done. One of the other challenging events that occurred was JTED 2. We had a micro event, and the gutter on JTED 2 actually filled up with hail, and we had water infiltration into the building. There's been a lot of testing done on that. There will be more water testing done on that, Kathy. We've got that dialed in, and then we'll go through and just work out the remediation on that and what we need to do to navigate through that, so that from a third party independent, we have a clean bill of health for the building. So that's the water testing during the winter break. And then the abatement and remediation, that will be performed by CRS, which is a longstanding provider for JTED. That'll be coordinated through the Bourne companies and JTED, and then facilitated by BFL. Historical relationship recap. I asked the office to go back and look through how much we've been together over the years. And this may actually not tell the whole story, but reaching back to 2009, 18 projects over 15 years. And so this relationship is very important to BFL and JTED and the legacy that JTED is putting forth. And so we just thank you for being part of that journey with you. Just again, more great aerials of the campus here and how impressive that is. I was reminiscing going through Gary Brov's storyboards the other day and looking back at what Kathy, you and Gary had done over the years, and other governing board members involved in that. So very impressive from all over serving Pima County. A little bit that you may or may not know about BFL. So I'll just take a moment to share. Some of you may or may not know Gary Brov, our founder, retired. BFL's been in Arizona for 53 years. 3,000 trade partners, and lots of work. Currently, we've got about 90 employees. Full-time organization, full team organizational charts. So there's a lot of folks, a lot of depth on the bench is why I wanted to share this slide. I feel like there was an urban myth here towards the end of the JTED 2 where I think maybe JTED felt like BFL wasn't putting its best shoulder into that project. I want to assure you that if that was indeed what was happening, it's not now, and you have our full attention, and we have the depth on the bench to get this done. So with that, Q&A.
You mentioned a micro event, and I know that you have no control over that, but through the roof issues, I guess there were some concerns of lack of quality when the roof was applied. Could you address that? Is that an urban myth, or is that an execution problem that occurred? And
so, Wayne, is that you speaking?
yes.
Yeah. No, that's not an urban myth. That is true. There was a detailed profile from the gutter attachment to the roof panel that was not executed properly. That has since been corrected.
We train people in the construction trades. Is there something that could prevent that in the future? Either a supervision issue or
no, Wayne, that's a great question.
An inspector checkpoint. Anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, Wayne. A couple ways to respond to that. It is a quality control issue. the delivery methods of these projects, the schedule is very tight. So there's a lot of pressure on the construction team, the team being the client, in this case, JTED, the team being the general contractor, the developer, Bourne in this case, and of course, the general contractor and the trade partners. What I've, being in the industry for 35 years, Wayne, what I am seeing is time. Time is the biggest challenge, the delivery method. And by the time that the general contractor breaks ground to be having a certificate of occupancy for the students to come in, that gets very tight. And so, you know, it's a long way to answer your question, but when projects are rushed, and it seems in the era of cell phones and technology today, you know, there's still, and as you all know, you're training and developing the next generation of that. There's not really an app to shortcut the sweat equity that it takes to put a building together. And so my parting words on that would be having more breathing room within the schedule, less of a rush, and certainly more quality control. This building type here, as you know, has a flat roof with no parapet. It also, fun fact, it doesn't have a roof hatch. So for a superintendent or a quality control person to typically go up an access ladder, pop a roof hatch, be able to walk a roof safely with a parapet, which would be sometimes more common. This building type is pre-engineered metal building. It's a wonderful building. The R value on it is fantastic. But from a safety standpoint, there wasn't really a way for a super to get on the building on top of it and really walk it, as you might have seen on a 2-3 story building with a flat roof and a parapet. So I don't know if I answered your question, Wayne, or not.
Yeah, I think so. We do have a drone program, just throwing that out.
Yeah, absolutely. We flew drones over it when we took that apart and photo documented with a trade partner getting it put back together correctly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I was wondering, you know, we paid a huge amount of money to the city for inspection permits and so forth. How do the city inspectors work with the crew, your crew, and how come they didn't catch any of these issues as the building was going up? Or do the city inspectors actually do anything?
The city inspector typically, Bob, isn't going to get in a telescopic lift and go up for insurance reasons. So again, if it was a roof with a roof hatch, we could get them up there with a ladder, right? And that would be more common. These two buildings are unique that way, where there's just, as they pitch to one another, one would need to be tied up. And because all of the HVAC equipment's on the ground, there's really nowhere to tie off. So I think these are just anomalies, the way that they are.
So we paid the city for nothing, in essence.
Well, I wouldn't go there. I mean, they did foundation inspections, they did electrical inspections, plumbing inspections, intermediate inspections, drywall inspections. There are plenty of inspections. But in terms of that leading edge, it's unfortunate that we didn't catch it. We don't want to blame anyone else. That's on us. The buck stops with us. We're your general contractor. We should have caught it regardless of whatever the Paul Harvey story is to it.
Okay, thank you.
David, I want to thank you for coming out this evening to present and answer questions. I also want to give a shout out to Tufik and Megan from the Bourne Company, who have been assisting us through this process. I don't know what you call it. It would, I guess, the punch list process, or dealing with the things that need to be fixed. I know that there have been a number of things that your team has addressed, David, including warranty items, insurance items, and then there are items that may meet code, but that we want to take it a step further to ensure the delivery that we want to see in certain elements of the building for our students, that we are asking for additional modifications and additional things. But I know, and so we will be adding those things and paying for those things. But I want to know, aside from insurance and warranty items, I know that you have, as a company, and I can't think of any other term other than eaten some of these expenses.
Absorb.
And so do you have an idea of how much you've had to eat as a company for, because of some of these things we've just discussed? I haven't ever heard a figure, and I'm wondering if you have any estimate of that.
We're compiling it, and when we're absorbing those numbers, it's a long-term relationship, Kathy. So, surviving as a general contractor for 53 years in Pima County requires relationships are so important, and so it's not about whether we're profitable or if it's a financial challenge. We want to do whatever it takes to do the right thing. And so I couldn't quote a number to you. I know that they're tallying it and tracking it, and it'll probably continue to grow. I tease my team that, and they don't like it when I say this, but it's the 100-year warranty concept, right? We're not done until the client is satisfied the building's operating how they intended it for it to operate, and be invited back. Be invited back to the next project. That's really my message with my team. So. It is significant. It's probably, if I would have to guess at this point, Kathy, it's probably north of 50,000. Quantifying that, I don't know. I mean, I'd be happy to come back and present to the board, and maybe in the next 2 meetings or so with a wrap up of kind of where we were and where things are. If that's at the board's pleasure, happy to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know the best estimate is maybe finishing everything in spring, by spring.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming
Frank,
out.
do you want that muted?
Right. Next, we have a calendar update.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Coming up December, Friday, December 20th, we have invited the board to join all of our faculty and staff who are also invited to a winter break pajama luncheon. We ask that you wear your best pajamas, holiday pajamas if you have them, and join us for a brunch potluck that begins at 11 a.m. on Friday, December 20th. Then in January, and that's right here in this very room here at Bridges in the event center. And then Tuesday, January 14th, we have the regular governing board meeting, but that's a special meeting because we're going to have certificates of election for Mr. Bob Schlanger, District 5, Brenda Marietti, District 1, and Wayne Pete, District 4. That's also the board organization meeting where you will elect a chair and clerk. Thursday, January 23rd, we have the Tucson Hispanic Chamber Governor's State Report at the Tucson Convention Center, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. And then Saturday, January 25th, we have the Pima JTED Showcase, which is here at the JTED Innovative Learning Center, 10 a.m. That'll be right here, a lot inside, a lot in the parking lot. Last year, I think we had 1,300 people, we think, attend. So you're all invited to that, and that concludes my report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Next is the consent agenda. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We approve the consent agenda. And then study action items, legislative update. Tina, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. At this point, I gave a legislative update last month, and really nothing has changed given that the fact that the legislature is out of session. So I use this time to answer any questions, but I will hopefully have a more comprehensive update for you in January.
Okay, any questions for Tina? Okay, well, you don't go anywhere because you're up next again.
Okay.
For approval of the 2024-2025 budget.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. So the December revision serves a couple purposes, but the main purpose is, according to law, if our adopted budget is differed from the state figures at a given point in time, then we have to, by law, revise our budget. So we fit that category. We exceeded actually our budget limit was higher than what the state calculated at, again, that given point in time. So what you have before you is a budget revision that's based on that given point in time, which at this point is an October 15th report that shows our ADM, which, as you know, is average daily membership. And at that time, AMPI was not reporting. So this budget in front of you is based on 4,799 ADM, and we're up to over 5,100. So it's basically represents a 400 ADM reduction. But again, by law, we have to revise the budget and match the reports of the state, given that snapshot in time. But probably this year will be unique rather than wait till the May revision. Probably January or February, Ken, the new CFO, and I will bring to you another budget revision where we capture that 400 additional ADM, and so that we can have a truer picture of what the budget looks like for you at this point. So this budget is a couple $1,000,000 less than what you adopted in July. But again, it's because of that point in time that's in law. But again, we can revise in January, February once we have so again, I probably giving you a lot of wonky information, but AZEDS is a ADM system that is really dynamic. Every day it changes based on the kids in the program, right? But the budget system and the reports that we use to drive the budgets is not dynamic. Those reports are issued monthly at best. Ergo why we're dealing with the October 15th report in a December revision. And so yeah, AZEDS is definitely showing 5,100 plus ADM. So we will definitely be able to bring to you a revised budget with better numbers in the future. With that, I'll stand for any questions.
Okay, any questions for Tina? If not, we need a motion to approve the change to the budget revision.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nah. Okay, that's passed.
Thank you.
And Patty, new program for JTED.
Good evening, Mr. Slinger, Ms. Prather, and governing board members. Coming today to offer or to request approval of a new program for the Pima JTED. It's a local occupational program, which means that we submit a separate different application to the Department of Education to approve a local program. It's not on the state list, and it's for the certified caregiver program. And so in the past, we have offered that certification within our licensed nursing assistant program. And at this point in time, you know, we're working to try to offer more healthcare opportunities in the daytime at Bridges. So we're going to run this as a daytime Bridges Innovation Tech High School program during the day for students for certified caregiver. And it's a very needed occupation, and there's great demand over the next 5 years for certified caregivers in our area. And so our application to the department was approved, and we plan to offer this program starting next fall.
Great.
Any questions?
Sounds good. Any questions on that?
I don't have a question. I just applaud your efforts, being out there, working in hospices, etc. There is an incredible demand for caregivers, an aging population, a growing population, and new technology and methods that we didn't have before that require more hands to do the work. So I thank you for your efforts. They're much needed.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
I move we approve.
Program.
Again, I'm sorry.
What's that?
I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
Oh, was there another question? No,
Okay,
I don't think so. So we have a motion to approve
Yes, I motion to approve.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we approved another program. Thank you. Any suggestions for future governing board agenda items?
Should we say that all new buildings have a hatch on the roof?
That sounds like a good idea. And maybe some guardrails or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a few that we
Sure.
have discussed.
Yep.
I know earlier in the agenda setting meeting with Ms. Marietti, we talked about a special study session or section of a regular meeting, but special time dedicated to a financial workshop for board and cabinet to talk about how to read the financial statements, but then also education for cabinet and board regarding how to read those and types of reports that might be helpful to the board and cabinet. And so then there also was another request, I believe previously, that we talked about at the last meeting. And that was, I believe, something Chris is working on to set up a special study session with JTED District and JTED Foundation together. And that's in the works. And then also joint board meetings in process of being scheduled with Pima Community College Board and Pima JTED, and then a separate meeting for Pima JTED Board and Tucson Unified School District Board. So I think all those are in progress and based on discussions. So thank you.
Thank you. So any other suggestions? All right. Hearing none. Wayne?
I move we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Thank you all for putting up with us.
Thank you all for hanging in.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.